This is Florida Natural Farming at Frog Valley Tropical Fruit Farm. I gotta go check trees that have fruit on it. So I watched this great video by John Dunn. It's in my playlist yesterday or a couple days ago. And it was on the water, basically the water situation, freshwater situation in Florida. And he's like said 40% of the water goes to agriculture here in Florida. And we all know that they're like a major polluter because you have to use chemicals. I mean, when you use chemicals, you have to use water. So that's why so much water is used. And it seemed like a lot of the stuff that he talked about was stuff that I have solutions to, and kind of shown it and talked about it. I was kind of surprised at all the information that he was talking about is stuff that I've been talking about, and why we don't water, and how we dry farm and how to dry farm all these plants, these rare plants, the rare fruit trees, the rare hard to fruit plants. And it really all comes down to removing yourself from the system, planting the plant, and then taking yourself away from the system. A lot of the regenerative people that have sway, the regenerative farm people, John Kemp, they focus on nutrients and the need for micronutrients, and I guess then they apply them. But that's not true. What's needed is the life. All life is connected via water and air. And life and different life are super nutrient accumulators. And when that life expires, the other life harvests the nutrients that are released and make new life. And so it all comes down to letting life into the system. And we, as humans, we kill life. We kill systems. So in order to clean up the water, we got to outlaw the chemicals. And they're just not needed. And that's not really popular with most people. So it's a problem. And it's like, why are you like, why are you doing it? Because you don't need to do it. That's the whole thing. We don't need to do it. We don't need to apply the chemicals. I mean, this is kind of proof. We are biodynamic certified, organic certified, rare tropical fruit farm and rare plant farm. And I care deeply about Florida. I'm a California transplant, but I've had a house on the Indian River Lagoon, 2.5 acres, and I watched that lagoon go from okay and beautiful to nasty in 10 years. And it's because the delicate situation we have here in Florida, being on a huge freshwater aquifer that they don't know how big it is, and calcareous rock. So everything you put, calcareous rock, water moves through. So anything you put on your top of your calcareous rock, the sand, winds up in the water quickly. But that also, because of the way we are situated in the most closely related spot that could become agrarian Eden, because of our biological makeup, the calcium and the water and the perfect temperature. Add plants and let life in, and that creates Eden. That's pretty much it. And we can grow everything here in Florida. Well, not everything. The super cold sensitive stuff doesn't do that well up here in Vero Beach, but the cacao and stuff like that does fine. I'm just blown away that people haven't jumped on the fact that we're able to fruit abundantly cacao in Florida from seed in 5 years without watering it and without any protection. We're in our 2nd generation seeds from seed grown plants. I don't know, people seem disinterested, and it's bizarre. I find it extremely bizarre. I joined that rare fruit club here in Vero, and it's like, I think I suck too much air out of their room, because that's all I focus on 24/7. 365 is plant, 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 plant. And not hoarding plants, but growing plants. But I'm a plant hoarder too. I didn't wind up with this place with all these plants because I'm not a plant hoarder. But it's not the only thing I think about. It's how to grow. So I got 2 fruit off this achacha. It looks like there's a couple more ripening up. There's one there. So they take like 5 days once they turn yellow before they get close. Thought there was another one over here. I need to look. I don't know. I just got to keep talking about it and showing it because it's catching on. I get a lot of you that watch these videos know and want to learn and share information. And a lot of you already know and are doing it. So, it's not all, it's not like I'm a ship in the sand here in Florida and the only one. It's a movement happening. At first I didn't think it was possible to fix Florida just because the amount of nutrient packing. The nutrient packing has got to stop, and we need to look at the life that's connected by water and air that increases when you take yourself away from control. Remove yourself. So that's why we don't walk on anything here. It's I have little footpaths, and I have one mowed path that goes to the front of the property, to the back of the property, and that's it. I do go into the system to plant, I go into the system to harvest fruit, and I go into the system to drop a load of crap. So we use zebu manure, biodynamically grown zebus, the most precious animal I've ever come across, and it's what Ayurveda medicine, not ours here in America, but in India, because they're indigenous cow of India, the humped cow. And I just believe in them totally. They're just, I don't know. They're not for food. They're like little living teddy bears, really. I mean, that's what they're like. Only in a cow form. They're so cute. Oh. Okay, I need to go look at the Imbe tree. I have some people that want some fruit. Took a while before people started really getting on the fruit. Now it's looking like we're gonna sell out of the fruit. So. The fruit is not a never-ending, continuous thing. It comes and it comes on strong sometimes, and then it's like gone for a year. But the Garcinia trees like to rebloom, and some other trees like to rebloom, like Koimuk and cashew, and rebloom in fruit, and mangoes, and guavas, and I guess there's a lot of the tropical fruits that like to do that here. And that's what kind of where we're at with our fruit trees. They're just starting to come online one at a time, and I just continue to plant and plant and plant and plant. So it's just gonna be a juicy fruit jungle here, baby. Kind of there already, but I see some fruit. But I love it. So I had some people talk about classes or ask about classes, but I don't give classes. Pretty much all the information I provided online, and I can't have a lot of people out here. First of all, I'm not that good with people. So, and I don't do well in groups unless I know the people. I'm kind of weird. Well, not kind of weird, I am weird. But oh well, weird is good. The jackfruit is coming along. I mean, really, it's so basic, this form of gardening here in Florida, that works. I'm not talking about if you have all rock, but if you're on sand, you gotta let this stuff that grows by itself grow. I do pull up the pepper trees when I see them, because they just turn into a maintenance nightmare for me. They grow too fast. So, but everything else I let go, and I just like snap off sometimes. You know, like that. There's those birds that eat my fruit living down by this swamp. I thought they were blackbirds, but I think they're starlings. Maybe they're blackbirds. See her down there? I'm always looking for something to eat. The bird people. I love them though. I'd rather have them than not have them. Those are your nutrients. We don't need to look for nutrients and mine nutrients and deliver nutrients. We got to create the life by removing ourselves from our systems, our agricultural systems in Florida especially. It shocks me that people even consider watering stuff. I mean, it's everything from what I can tell. I don't grow cashews and I don't grow jaboticabas. See, I knew I should have come out here to get this fruit. I have planted seeds. I'm sure there's some. In fact, I know there is. I saw one jaboticaba, so I know that that they're here. But I'm gonna take this fruit off before the birds finish it off. They're good fruit. I like them. Leave my fruit alone, birds. They're just sitting over there waiting. They're probably up in there. Yep. I gotta put some thread through the tree because I want this cashew fruit, but I have to get some thread that's not, you know, rayon or something that biodegrades. And then tie it to a branch and string it over the tree because the birds stay out of it then. And this has a long bloom period, and I would hate for them to just get in the habit of pecking off all my fruit. So I'm gonna get that thread. I'll order it on Amazon today. The snots. Okay, who else am I looking for? Oh, we still have some Garcinia gardneriana, and I checked the some other Garcinias, and I saw that one of them is just loaded in like a massive bloom, one of the lemon drop mangosteens. Those are my least favorite mangosteen we grow. I think we have like 9 varieties, species. This is a male Imbe tree. Getting ready to bloom again. It's given us a scant fruit, like really scant, like not worth your time. But I think you need the tree. I planted like 6 seed-grown Imbe here, and then, or no, like 5, and then, and all of them were duds, except for I planted 1 grafted tree that came from Excalibur. I took a picture of the label, but I don't know where that is. It's on my memory somewhere. But it's our hermaphrodite tree. It produces, like, that's that tree that I showed you. Produces all that fruit. Ah, the Koimuk fruit is getting big. And she's doing a super bloom also. This is my favorite fruit. Yes, definitely. They start out, the flowers start out exactly like the fruit. In fact, I think it's just a perfect flower. And see, because it looks just like the fruit, and then grows. This one has an orange flesh. We have one with more of a pink flesh. So 2 types of Koimuk. One I bought at Montoso Gardens years ago, like 10 years ago. And that one, then we have a bunch of the seed-grown trees that, okay, no. Did I pick those mangoes? I must have. I know that, what are you doing, Shelly? Are you gonna not even get that bird? If it was a bunny though, you would, huh? It's a feral cat that moved into our barn. So I'm trying to like get this so I could plant. I don't think I could plant my aroids in here because this stuff would, like, it's a parasitic thing and it would like keep the leaves from opening. So I need to get this under control. Probably more shade would do that. Some mulch, some manure mulch. I use manure. That's what I use. That's all manure, bedding. I actually like the smell of the a little bit of animal manure, I guess, probably because I've been around it my whole life. Oh. This egg fruit tree is like, this is a grafted egg fruit tree, canistel tree that produced for the first time last year. It was a tiny little grafted tree, like a micro grafted tree, like that big. Skinnier than that though, and it was tiny. And it grew quick. I planted one of those second generation cacao over here somewhere. Where is it? Here it is. And that looks good. This is it right here. You know, not watered. It hasn't rained for 5 days, so this is one of those spiral gingers. Not really a ginger, but it's just a spiral. Costus. In fact, I think that one could be toxic because of the calcium oxalate in it. Very waxy leaves. Waxy leaves, little waxy leafed plants form relationships with fungi more so than non-waxy leaf plants. So we focus on the fungi in the soil, something that nobody even discusses in Florida, and that's what delivers the dead life nutrients to your plant here. Because if there's life, you have all the nutrients. That's what it comes down to. Because life can't exist without all those micronutrients you're trying to put into your system. It's not the micronutrients you need the life. If you don't have the life, then those micronutrients generally a lot of them will just go into the water or air. Got to have a living system. Look at the cacao. It looks great. I mean, you can really see them. They're popping. See, we're going to have a little cacao forest through here. There's a cha-cha tree. There's another cha-cha. This African peach is like, it looks good. The one in the back is, where is it? There it is. Nuclea latifolia. I'm very excited about this fruit. Just like all this rare, expensive fruit that here in Florida, this is the cacao. So everyone saw the cacao at the end of winter, and I kept saying, yeah, and it'll put off some leaves. And as soon as it gets some rain, and look at it now. This is the tree that is from a tree that I fruited, that I grew this one from seed from that other tree. It's been fruiting, and it's dry farmed in Brevard County, and it's like a 20-foot tall tree. It had like hundreds of fruit on it when I saw it this past winter after the freeze, but they didn't get a freeze there. It's kind of in a courtyard, but it's outside. There's no protection from the wind. There is, but they do just fine without protection from the wind. Sure, the leaves, if it was windy now, the leaves would get all torn up, but it's not windy. So, and if they get torn up, they send out more leaves. I don't know. This should be on everyone's radar, every grower's radar, I think. And why dry farm cacao hasn't like excited people in Florida is, I don't know. It just shows the total disinterest in the general population. It's just, I don't know. I know if you're buying land around here and you're doing this, you're doing it. So I know it's not everyone, but you think one person that teaches farming would like say, that's really interesting. I mean, are they all doing it too? I don't think so. But I don't know, it's just strange. Strange that it's not caught on so much with people, which is kind of okay. It's okay. I have about all I can deal with. So, too much outside influence with me, I lose my creativity. So I try to like just stay amongst my plants for the most part. Anyway, Here's the lemon drop mangosteen, and look at all the new growth on this tree. This is the Garcinia gardneriana, the one they call the improved lemon drop. Or, you know, Flying Fox Fruit coined that. Well, I guess it's a good term. But there's a Indian name for this fruit. It's got more than one crop on it. Has a long bloom period, and I wouldn't be surprised if it set out a huge super bloom. Garcinias is kind of what we focus on. That's what that was why we started this place, was for the achacha tree. And I see a pepper tree. That's what I'm zeroed in on. I couldn't focus, like, must get the pepper tree. No, you're not going to grow there. I'm going to have a banana there. Sorry. I know you improved the soil, pepper trees, but I don't want to deal with you when you're too big to pull out, because I'm not driving my tractor. I hate the smell of diesel, so we don't do any machinery through here. Oh, I just walked through a huge spider web. Sorry, spider. Working my way over to that, it's a seed-grown guavas. You got to put them in the right spot. Obviously, here's another seed-grown guava. So here's some little cacaos from last year I planted. They're looking good. Oh, here's some over here. Looking better. So the ones I planted in big groups, like this one, they look a lot better. So I start a pot of seeds and I put them all in one pot, because I start my cacao in biodynamic compost, the same stuff I grow my rare aeroids in. Okay, I want to get over here and look at, where was that flowering tree? It's this one. This is the Garcinia brasiliensis. I'm glad we only have one of these trees, but I probably have more, because I've planted some seeds from this and it's been producing fruit for a long time. But it looks like it's finally going to give us one of those super crops like the Garcinias are known for. Can you see the flowers? There they are. Yep. But the seeds sell on this. People want them. The fruit, there's not a lot of flesh on them. They have a good flavor. I do make fruit leaf teas out of the leaves, because they're full of human beneficial phytochemicals. You know, what do the marketeers call those things? I forget. This is a Garcinia gardneriana, and it looks like it's doing a big bloom. So this tree, this is the first year of this bloom. This tree gets a little more sun, and look at it, it's doing a super bloom too. So the other one, not in this getting as much sun. There's the other fruit on it. People want this fruit too. This one's good. The difference between these lemon drop Garcinias and the other Garcinias and the Imbe is the Imbe fruit continues to ripen once you pick it. So you can pick it early and send it, not too early, but once it's orange, and by the time it gets there, it's like really good. So the other fruit, the intermediate and the cha-cha and stuff like that, as soon as you pick it, it can last for a while, but it doesn't continue to ripen if you pick it early, like the Imbe does. And the Imbe, you eat the skin, and I eat the skin and everything. It's a good fruit. It's one of my fruits that in fact, my mouth's watering it thinking of it. Probably because I've been eating so many of them. Getting my micronutrients. It's really sad that farming like this just hasn't like caught on with everyone. Considering that they say by 2030, John Donne, watch that water thing on water cycle in Florida. He said by 2030, this is like most of the state will be out of fresh, clean drinking water, potable drinking water. Looked like Indian River County was still okay by 2030, but the rest of the state was southern Brevard County. Both of the places we have properties. Our beach house is in southern Brevard County. What a spot Florida is. It's like really sad that people mow their lawns and use their bug stuff and use their chemicals still to grow food. And this is Garcinia gardneriana, or no, Umbromiana. I was trying to see if it had any flowers on it. It doesn't have any new leaves, but especially since it doesn't have to be that way. Anyway, it's Frog Valley Tropical Fruit Farm in Florida Natural Farming. Hope you have a beautiful day.